تالتة ثانوي هانت خلاص، أنا قد التحدي، خطوة كمان والبكرة هعدي. تالتة ثانوي، تالتة ثانوي.
Welcome, dear student, to our channel Madrasetna 3 under the supervisions of Ministry of Education. أعزائي طلاب الثانوية العامة شعبة علم علوم، أهلا بكم في حلقة جديدة من تدريس الأحياء باللغة الإنجليزية تحت إشراف وزارة التربية والتعليم. Now we are going to focus about the learning outcome that related to in this episode. By the end of the session, students should be able to, number one, recognize how the seed and the fruit are formed, originating from it. Compare between endospermic seed grains and the ex-endospermic seeds. Finally, distinguish between the mature parthenocarpy and distinguish between the natural parthenocarpy and the artificial parthenocarpy. Okay. Focus, please, in this point before studying this episode. We focus about the last studied in the last episode, fertilizations. There is two types of fertilizations. Fused fertilizations, 2N is formed through N. Main nuclei is fused with the egg cells, forming the zygote. Okay? The zygote, after formation, the embryo is divided mitotically, forming the zygote. Triple fusions between one main nucleus, it fused with the two polar nuclei, forming the endosperm. The endosperm, it is divided mitotically, forming the endospermic tissue. So, both of the process, it's called double fertilization. There is a difference between endospermic seeds, it's called the grains, and ex-endospermic seed, it's called seed. There is a difference between both of them. We can make tables and a comparison between each one of them. Endospermic seed, embryo may be feeds the endosperm, or endosperm a part of feeds a part of the endosperm in the endospermic seed grains. Okay? The embryo feed apart or may be feed on the endosperm. The integument of both of ovary and ovules, integument fused together, forming the grains. For example, maize and rice. It's called the grains. There is a difference in ex-endospermic seeds. It's called seed. The embryo keeps the endosperm. What about the nutrients? This is types storage the nutrients inside the cotyledons. So it's called dicotyledon. All dicotyledons, for example, legumes, beans, pea, lupins, or swallowing. Why? Because it stores the nutrients inside it. The integument of the ovules become harder to form the seed. For example, in bean or beans plant. Okay, that's right. Endospermic seeds grains, the embryo may keep the endosperm. The seed in this case are called endospermic seeds, such as one cotyledon seed in which the integument of the ovary and ovules fused together, forming a single seeded fruits called the grains, as in maize and wheat. Okay, that's right. Endospermic seeds, between two brackets, that means that seeds, especially in dicotyledon in legumes. The embryo may be fed on the endospermic tissue. During the development is called endospermic seed. According to the plants has storing another food in the cotyledons. Hence, these seeds are called two cotyledons, ذوات الفلقتين يعني. Seeds, dicotyledons, where the integument of the ovules hardens, forming the seed testa. It's called seed, as in bean and peas seeds. That's right. Okay. Formation of fruit and seed. The auxins study it before in the plant that's representing the hormone play an important role. Growth, ripeness, and fruit. Focus in this point, please. Pollination and fertilization, both of two processes, is essential for formation, fruit and seed. Pollination only, forming fruits. Pollination with fertilizations, forming a fruit with seed. No fertilization, no seed. Fruit without seed. Okay? That's right. Formation of the fruits and seeds is related to pollination and fertilizations. Okay, that's right. Formation of the fruit is related to the ovary. When the pollen grain falling in the stigma, the auxine is stimulating the ovary, forming the fruit. After that fertilization also occurs, forming the seed. If the flower not exposure to the pollination and the fertilization, wilt and die. Wilt and die. So the essential process is to occur to the flowers to produce finally fruits and seed. That's right. Formation of the fruits. Fruits come from the ovary. Precarp, اللي هو غلاف الثمرة, come from the wall of the ovary. There is two types of the fruits, false fruits and true fruits. True fruits, that means that come from the ovary. False fruits not come from the ovary. What's the meaning of the false fruit? They are the fruit in which any part is enlarged with food except the ovary. That means that's not come from the ovary. It's come from receptacles. Receptacles, soil part is found in the flowers. For example, apple fruits that come from receptacles, so it's called false fruit, not come from the ovary. What about the seed? Seed, it comes from ovules. Testa, cover of the seed, it comes from the wall of the seed. After double fertilizations, the seed is formed. Okay? Seed comes from 5 nucleus. 1 main nuclei to the egg cells, 2 nucleus. 1 main nuclei to the tubular nuclei, 3 nucleus. Totally 5 nucleus forming the seed. After formation of the seed, 5 nucleus degenerated. Who cells are degenerated? Number 1, 3 antibodial cells. Number 2, 2 synergy cells. So the total numbers, it's 5 cell degenerated. The seed originates from 5 cells. Each cells need to the pollen grain to transferring to the stem. That's right. When the flowers, the fruits is contain 5 seeds, that means that need to 5 pollen grains. Okay. After fertilization, the calyx of the corolla and androecium, the style and the stigma wilt. Why? The vegetative organ stop continuity its life. Why? Because the hormones, the 3% in auxine, stop stimulating the growth of the vegetative organs. And the nutrients towards directly to the fruits, to formation, fruit and the seed. So the stop continuity. For example, annual plants, maize, rice, the continuity its life stop after formations, the fruits and seed. Why? Because the nutrients and hormone directs towards to the formation, the fruits and the seed. Okay? After fertilization, the calyx, the corolla, the androecium, the styles, and the stigma wilt. And fall out, only the ovary remains as a storage food, ripeness, and transform it into fruits due to the hormones or auxine secreting by the ovary. The ovary's wall is transformed into the precarp. That means that اللي غلاف الثمرة. And this seed, okay, all into the seed coat or testa. That's right. Some fruits keep the parts from the flowers. For example, corolla, كوسة. It contains marrow. It contains the corolla, اللي هي نواره. Pomegranates, it contains the stamens, inserts, and the filament. And contains the calyx. Another types, dates, it contains the calyx. Eggplant, it contains the calyx. So there are some fruits which keep some parts of the flowers. For the examples, leaflets of the calyx and the stamens remain in the pomegranates اللي هي الرمان. The calyx may be take part as in eggplant اللي هو الباذنجان and that fruits that represent اللي هو البلح. The corolla leaflets may be stay at in the marrow fruits اللي هي الكوسة. That's right. Okay. False fruit. It is the fruit in which any parts except the ovary enlarged. Okay? Everything enlarged except the ovary. Why? Because it's not originate from the ovary, but originate another parts from the flower. It's called receptacles, swallowing part. Okay? As in apples, whereas receptacle may be shared in the fruit formations. From the previous, we can concluding that pollinations provide the flower with the male cells needed for fertilization, for the ovules. That's right. Pollinations is transfers by human, wind, waters, reaching to the stigma and stick with the stigma. Why? Because the stigma is secreting sugar substance. As soon as the pollen grain reaching to the stigma, is auxin secreting from the plant, coleoptile tips in the plant to stimulating the ovary, formation of the fruits. After fertilizations, stimulations through the double fertilizations, one main nuclei with egg cells, embryo, zygote, another main nuclei with the tubular nuclei in the sperm tissue, finally reaching to the seed. So the two processes is concurrently, pollinations and fertilizations. Okay? That's right. Now we are going to the part to continue explaining another parts. False fruit, it is a fruit in which any parts except its ovary enlarges to store the food, as in apples. Where the receptacles may share in fruit formations, not ovary, so it's called false fruit. From the previous, we concluding that pollinations provide the flower with male cells needing for fertilizations, that's right, of the ovules. That develops into the seed. It's also stimulating the auxins necessary for the developing that. When studying the hormones endocrine systems, we focus about the auxin. Auxin play an important role on the growth gland, ripeness of the fruits, stimulation of the ovary, the formations, a specific type of the fruit, and all fruits found in the plant by helping on in auxins. Ovary into matures fruits events, its fertilization doesn't take place. That's right. Receptacles. Parthenocarpy. Study the different types, studied the other types of the reproduction. It's called parthenogenesis. Inheres in the plant is parthenocarpy. Parthenocarpy, it not considers reproductions, but parthenogenesis, it considers reproductions. Okay? That's right. What is the parthenocarpy? Definition of the parthenocarpy. It is the ability of the ovary formation, fruit without seed, without fertilization with male gametes. Need two male gametes. That means that pollination is occur without fertilization. So it's formed fruit without seed. There is the two types, natural parthenocarpy and natural and artificial parthenocarpy. Artificials by humans. Naturals, natural. Not needing any interventions from the humans. It's occur naturally. That's right. Parthenocarpy, it is the natural development of the fruits that's devoid of seed, since no fertilization takes place in it. For example, banana, pineapple, that can be carried out artificially. Why it's carried artificially? For example, now in these days, watermelons without seed, another type of fruit without seed. Why? Give the pollen grain powders found in the ethyl alcohol and spraying to the inserts, to the stigma. Pollen grains in powders, in the form of powders, inside the ethyl alcohol, and spraying to the stigma, female reproductive organs. Okay? Stimulation the ovary to forming the fruits by helping most important auxin, indole acetic acid. okay, forming the fruit. This fruit is formed without seed. It is made by artificially the parthenocarpy by spraying the stigma with the powders, pollen grains, and the ether alcohol. That's right. Fertilization takes place as in banana and pineapple, okay? That can be carried out artificially by spraying the stigma with the extracting of the pollen grains. Pollen grain powder in ether solutions or the use of the indole or naphthyl acetic acid to stimulating the ovary to forming the fruits. That's right, okay? The maturation of the fruits and the seed often lead to discontinuity of the plant to grow and sometimes to its death. Why? Because the auxins and another nutrients, it's exposure directly to the fruits. So the vegetative organs, it stop continuity, no nutrients, no hormones or auxins to stimulating its growth, especially in annual plant, okay? That's right. Sometimes to its death, especially in annual plants due to consumption of steroid food and towardness or and inhibitions of the hormones. If pollination and fertilizations don't take place, the flowers wither and the drops off without fruits formations. Okay? That's right. Choose the correct answers. The number of cells that's degenerating in the embryonic sac after the ovule fertilization in the plant. What are the numbers? The number of cells degenerating. The number of cells degenerated. Egg cells, it's fused with the main nuclei. Okay. Inside, there is the 8 cells. 3 antibodials, 2 synagogues, 5. 2 polar nuclei, 7. Egg cells, 8. Egg cells is fused with the main nuclei, forming the embryo and zygote. 2 embryonic sac, 2 embryonic cells is fused with the main nuclei, 3. So the antipodials, 3 cells, and 2 synagogue cells is degenerate after formation of the seed. So after the fertilizations, 5 cells degenerate. After fertilizations, seed is formed from 5 cells, 1 main nuclei with the egg cells, and another main nuclei with the 2 embryonic sac, 2 polar nuclei. That's right. The number of cells that generating in the embryonic sac after the ovule formation in the plant is 5. The best answer is D. That's right. Okay? Choose the correct answer. In which is the nucleus, in which in the nucleus similar to the endosperm. There is the relations between the nucleus and the endosperm. Endosperm feed or nourishment. Nucleus so that it nourishment and provide the cells with the nutrients. Number of chromosomal set? No. Nucleus N. Endosperm 3N. There is a difference. Zygote presence? No. Nucleus is found in which of the cellular similars? Nucleus is found inside the embryonic. It's found in the embryos of the embryonic sac. Time of formations? No. Nucleus is formed before the embryonic sac, before the endosperm. Endosperm is formed after fertilizations. And the nucleus is formed by the formation, the embryonic sac, and surrounded by membrane. It's called nucleus. So it shares both of them in functions. Finally, in function. The best answer is function. That's right. Okay. Now we are going to focus about a main point to make abstract about this episode through the light board. Please follow me. Now we are going to focus about the main point through the abstract about this episode. Okay. After fertilization process, double fertilization, the formation, the embryo and the endospermic tissue, we can classify it into 2 types. Endospermic seeds, it's called the grains, and the others, it's called exoendospermic seeds. In the endospermic seeds, the grains keep the embryonic sac, maybe keep the embryonic sac, okay? Or keeps a part of the endosperm. The integument of both of ovules and ovary fuse together, forming grains, for example, in the male, okay? Number 2, another types. Exoendospermic seed, it's called seed. Embryo feed in the endosperm and the storage the nutrients inside the dicotyledons. It's called dicotyledons. All dicotyledons is swallowing. Lobens, okay, beans, pea, all of them is seed. It's called swallowing. Embryo feed on the endosperm. The integument of the ovules become harder, forming finally the seed. Okay, the fruit is formed from the ovary, and its wall is formed from the precarp. So the ovary formed fruits. All of the ovary form precarps. Seed forming the ovules, and all of the seed forming the testa, the covers of the seed. Each seed is formed from 5 nucleus. Where 5 nucleus? One main nuclei fused with the egg cells, forming 2N, okay, 2 cells. And the other main nuclei fused with the embryonic sac, forming 3N. So the total number, 5 nucleus forming the seed, and each one of them need the one pollen grain to fertilize it. That's right. Okay? Finally, there is a type of fruit. False fruit, true fruits. What is the difference between false fruit and true fruits? False fruits, types false, okay? For example, apple fruits. Apple fruit, it comes from the ovary, but come from the receptacles, the swallowing parts in the flowers. And another type of the fruit comes ovary, so it's called true fruits. Thanks a lot for you, dear student. I wish I could see you again. Best wishes for me, Mr. Hatem, biology teacher. Thank you a lot for you and goodbye.
تالتة ثانوي هانت خلاص، أنا قد التحدي، خطوة كمان والبكرة هعدي. تالتة ثانوي، تالتة ثانوي.